Clothing industry or garment industry summarize the types of trade and industry along the production and value chain of clothing and garments, starting with the textile industry. Products of cotton, wool, fur, and synthetic fiber, embellishment using embroidery via the fashion industry to apparel retailers up to trade with second-hand clothes and textile recycling. The producing sector built upon a wealth of clothing technology, some of which, like the loom, the cotton gin, and the sewing machine, herald industrialization not only of the previous textile manufacture practices. Clothing industries are also known as allied industries, fashion industry, garment industries, or soft industries. Terminology. By the early 20th century, in the industry in the developed world often involved immigrants in sweat shops, which are usually legal but were sometimes illegally operated. They employed people in crowded conditions, working manual sewing machine, and began paid less than a living wage. This trend worsened due to attempts in the developed by the early 20th century, the industry in the developed world often involved immigrants in sweatshops, which were usually legal but were sometimes illegally operated. They employed people in crowded conditions, working manual sewing machines, and being paid less than a living wage. These trends were worsened due to attempts to protect existing industries, which were being challenged by developing countries in Southeast Asia, the Indian subcontinent, and Central America. Although globalization saw the manufacturing largely outsourced to overseas labor markets, there has been a trend for the areas historically associated with the trade to shift focus to the more white collar associated industries of fashion design, fashion modeling, and retail. Areas historically involved heavily in the shop in the rag trade include London and Milan in Europe and the Soho district in New York City. There are considerable overlaps between the terms clothing, garments, textile, and fashion industry. The clothing sector is concerned with all types of clothes from fashion to uniform, textile, and workwear. Textile industry is less concerned with the fashion aspect but produce the fabric and fiber that are required for tailoring. The fashion industry closely follows and sets fashion trends to always supply the latest in non-functional clothing.